Hello, my family. All right, it is now Thursday, the day before the storm. That sounds amazing, right? As we were informed, we are definitely, it shifted. It was going further up north and it reversed. So we are definitely going to get hit with this, and we were told we could get hit in northeast Mississippi up to 12 hours of nothing but freezing rain. Ooh, yay, glory to us. And as it was since yesterday. So the perfect setup. Let me give you the perfect setup of where we're at. The ground is already saturated. It has been raining since Wednesday morning. Or no, Wednesday afternoon. And it just stopped a few hours ago. So you can imagine the perfect wet situation and setup we have. I am going to talk to you about where we're at right now and what our next step is. And I'm going to show you at this point how prepared are we. If you were curious, because I can imagine many of you are curious as to how is she prepared. I'd like to know. I'm going to show you. So if you're ready, y'all, let's sit back and take a tour of this homestead. Okay, y'all, so I had to get some water. Now, you're going to find at this very moment, okay, I told you, I'm just raw and real, y'all. I'm a human being just like you. I am on a channel, but I am who I am. You're not going to find a studio here. You're going to find real life. And in real life, y'all, I have dirty dishes. My house is a wreck because I've been preparing mainly a lot of things outside and getting ready. These were my finest details to finish. So what I did was triage. In the situation that I have, to keep me from panicking, because I realize I'm seeing a lot of panicking right now. Our grocery store is looking, Lord have mercy, I needed water today. I had to go to various places just to get water because I drink spring water, y'all. I learned a few things about spring water. Purified water I use mainly for like my ice maker or even my animals in an emergency situation. So, and that is what I did. I got a few bottles of purified water and I got my spring water. So we did manage to get that. I don't drink a lot of water. So I'm going to show you some of the other things that I do drink to keep me hydrated. On top of the hydration, it also keeps me healthy because it boosts my immune system, especially in times like this. I could easily go buy Cokes and all that, but it's not going to help me, and this is just for me, y'all. It's not going to help me to stay strong through what I need to do. So triage, put my housework aside, leaving that to the very last. In this case, I still have time. Saturday is going to be my too late because at this point, all the accumulation is going to happen through Friday night. So I still have tomorrow to get everything finalized and finished, including my baking. I am baking. I went to the store. Trust me, I don't, as you all know, you're learning by now, I bake my own breads using fresh milled flour. So I still have some more baking. I did manage to get some biscuits. All right, y'all, those biscuits, I told you, Mr. James loves those doggone things, so I have to make some more. But I did manage to get some hamburger buns, and I have been craving some fresh milled blueberry muffins. So I want some muffins, especially in the morning with a hot cup of coffee. So we're going to be doing that. The second thing that I, first of all, before I go any further, I have to tell you all this. For the last couple days, I have been working on this homestead nonstop. I have a really beautiful relationship with my little brother, and he had called me and he said, sis, he said, have you seen your channel? And I'm like, no, I've been busy. And as a matter of fact, when he called, we were preparing our chicken coop, and I'm going to show you how we did that. So, he turned around and he informed me about the channel, and I looked, y'all. You guys woke up, oh my goodness, you woke up the sleeping giant. the algorithm got busted out, and I'm going to say to nearly 200 new family members. I sat there, actually, when I got a chance to sit down and look, I had tears. Y'all are beautiful, amazing people. And if you noticed, I try to talk to each and every person, because I believe I'm not just some inspirational person on YouTube. I try to communicate with my family. I try to associate with you, because you're not just anybody. You're people just like me. Personally, I've spoken some people's channels and they totally blew me off. That kind of don't feel good. I don't want to be that person. I want to be your friend. I want to be your sister, your aunt, your mama, whatever. I want to be your family. And so I will get to you. If I miss you, I'll find you. Trust me, I'll find you and I will speak to you. And as this grows, wow, wow. I do the best I can. And while this downtime is if I miss some of you, please forgive me. I'll catch up. And you can guarantee that I will speak to you. So, kudos to you. Welcome to the family. You're amazing. Honestly, you're amazing. And if anything else, I am sitting here humbly honored to have you as a part of this channel. Wow, it's amazing. Now, back to business. It seems like a lot. It kind of is a lot. Now, I will tell you, again, we are in Northeast Mississippi between Tupelo and Columbus. We'll just put it that way. And in this area, we found that we are going to be hit by an ice storm. I have no electricity in the barn area or by the barn area, which we took a storage building and we made it a barn for our feed, and attached to it is our chicken coop. We have 0.34 acres of land, and we turned every bit of this land into a mini green, or our mini homestead. It is a borderline between city-county line, and we made this place work for us. I did this by a chance of, like I told you before, a vision of a pack of seeds and a shovel. I was hungry, y'all, and I really got tired of being hungry. And I cried and I prayed. Look, I'm human. I broke down. What am I going to do? And that's when it came to me. And that's when Parton's Mediterranean Homestead began. It began by a pack of seeds and a shovel. And we have grown in the past 10 years like I never imagined. Every provision was provided for us for everything we needed. And I knew that this is what we were supposed to do. I am going to take this year and pretty much through this channel turn this homestead into a learning center free of charge. I know a lot of people on homesteaders charge to be able to learn this or that, and y'all, I can't do that. It is not made for me to do that. So whatever you learn here is going to be free. Is it going to be perfect? I'm going to tell you now, if you're looking for perfection, don't look at me. I mess up every day. But I learned from my mistakes. And what I have learned, I will share with you. I also know that weather, I bow down to the weather, y'all, because look, it is its own species. This thing does what it wants to do. I may want to rebel and do what I wanted to do, but frankly, it don't work for me, but somehow it works for the weather. So I respect the weather to the best of my ability through this process. And a seriousness of this, I am also, and it hurts. I'll just be honest. I prepare myself for the just in case. And one of that just in case is losses. I have experienced losses in super heat that we've had up to 120 degrees. It is brutal. We walk out our door and we can't breathe. And I have had chickens who have had heat stroke, or I've had crops wither away to dust, it seemed like. So I managed to know that I set myself up to say, okay, it is what it is. You know what you're looking at. And there is a big possibility you're going to take some losses. The good thing about these kind of losses on a homestead, even if it hurts, I mourn and then I do go into action and I prepare again. See, I can start over. One thing I am learning, no matter how many times I just wanted to say, you know what, I'm done with this. I can't do this anymore. I'm finished. But see, quitting is not a part of my vocabulary. I can speak, but my heart says, oh no, you don't. Every time I think about I want to quit when it gets hard, there's just something in the pit of my stomach that tells me don't do it. There's so many that still want to learn. Now, homestead. Okay, so let me get to this part. I don't care if you live in an apartment complex or if you live in a home like I have or if you live on a farm. I'm going to be able to, what's amazing about me being a micro, residential, rural, whatever you want to call me, homestead, I have enough information to help everybody. Hence, the information shall be free. Because what knowledge was given to me was never meant to be charged. I didn't get charged to do what I did. And it was given to me as a blessing. And those blessings are meant to be given out. I survived some pretty hard things in life to know what my purpose is today. And my purpose today is to teach you. This year, I am going to spend being a learning center for you. For many of you who want to learn about grains, you want, excuse me, y'all. I'm sorry. So I'm going to teach about different grains. I'm going to teach why I have all these grains. I'm going to teach what each grain does, how it works, and we may even do some examples with those certain products. Gardening, we're going to go in step-by-step details from fertilizers. What is the best? What works for me? Might not always work for you, but I'm going to tell you what has worked for me, what I'm doing new, learning about the pH and why it is very important, which I learned that too. So many different things. I do have so much more to learn. I'm not a professional by any means. I'm learning by experience, and in that experience, I can relate to you. There is so much more, from canning, y'all, preserving, dehydrating, learning how to use and cook and how to prepare a meal from our table from what we use and what we grow. I am going to spend this whole year teaching you all of this. I believe that everybody should have a chance. And then there's another side of it. If you're not growing, let me teach you what's the best thing to stock up your pantries with, the best way to stock up your pantry, healthy for your family, affordable. And the fact is sales is highly important. Trust me on that one. Sales are highly important. You will find on this homestead that we do a lot of whole foods. What we do here benefits us medically. My husband is a type 2 diabetic. I am a cancer survivor, and we have learned to make our food work for us instead of destroying us. So you're going to find that we use a lot of organics, basically through an amazing company called Azure Standard. I love Azure. And a matter of fact, I got a haul coming in, and I will share that haul with you. Every order we get, I'm going to share it with you, and I will give you more details about Azure Standard, more details about other things that I have. Maybe it'll help people in my area, or some of you out there. I have so much to give you that I cannot wait. I have so much that I think would benefit you, because I'll tell you the truth. There's a lot of people that talk about fear mongering, that a lot of people are fear mongering, and I get that. I've seen it. However, I want to get you into a place where I am. And I'll have to admit something. Most all of my life, I have always had this I have to have, I need, I want. And I was never content, y'all. The other day, knowing this storm came in, there was this peace over me. And I sat for once saying, look, I'll be honest, I ain't got a pot to pee in, y'all. I really don't. I have an old wore down house that I turned into a homesteader. I'm a simple girl. Bills, we're so simple, and we'll go over that too financially. How are we living? You would not even believe it. However, I want for nothing. I have never in my life knew what that felt like. And I sat the other day with tears in my eyes just saying, I honestly, from 10 years ago, from the woman who sat on her floor crying, I am hungry, what am I going to do? And there was no resources to go to where I'm sitting at later, fully content with a want for nothing. I want to be able to give this to you as much as I can. I'm not going to be able to fix all your problems. And I admit that. I mean, I'm not sitting here with not problems of my own. Trust me, I do. But there are some things I just know that I can't do nothing about. And honestly, the one who can is the good Lord. So what do I do to worry about it? My health isn't worth worrying about something I can't have control over. So I'm learning to take control of what I can do. And then let God have the rest of it. Because honestly, y'all, we can't handle more than we can handle. And if we put too much on us, it's going to crash. We're going to hit the wall. We're going to crash. And then we're going to give up in everything in life. So let me show you how not to panic, how to be prepared. And that, look, survive anything. There are real life situations, y'all. So when I talk about this homestead preparing, we are preppers, survivalists. This is what we prepare for. Any emergency, whether it be weather, job loss, medical. Look, I never knew my husband was going to have a heart attack. It just happened one day. I wasn't ready. He's had lost his jobs before. Y'all, he's been in between jobs. If I didn't do what I did, we wouldn't survive that. Type 2 diabetes, cancer. You know, things happen. Real life happens. Accidents. God forbid death in the family. We need to be prepared for whatever there is in life. And so, power outage, we're facing, well, this is what could be ours for weeks or days. Are we prepared? And honestly, I am. And that's what I want to show you. So if you're ready, y'all, I know I sat and chit-chatted your ears off. I love coffee time, but I'm taking Wednesday, and I did say yesterday, so I didn't technically mean to lie, but I wanted you to see where we're at, because many of you want me to keep up with you, and I was really, you touched my heart in that way, because I would never have thought somebody would care enough, so bless you for that. But I also understand it shows you, well, how is this chick doing this? So it is my honor, y'all. I'm going to tell you now, nothing we have is fancy, so don't look for fancy. We are not a big major farm. We're mini. So now that you're prepared, hopefully, you're going to see how we survive two people in any situation, and how I got to the conclusion that I am wanting nothing and content right where I'm at. Does that mean if my power goes out that it's going to be easy? Nope, because I'm like you. I do like conveniences, y'all, and it is a bit inconvenient to survive during the times of power loss. But if I set my mind to it, I can survive anything. And let me show you how we're doing this, okay? Let's go. Okay, y'all, so this is what I call my coffee tea station. I told you, I have conveniences like you. However, if the power goes out, this ain't going to do me no good at all. But over here, this is tea. But y'all, that ain't just the tea I have. I am prepared and stocked. Let me go back up here. Yes, I got my winter flowers, y'all. I am prepared and stocked for tea of all kinds, even medicinal teas that like mullein or anise hyssop or any of these Jamaican sorrels. Tea is beneficial. Excuse me on my arms. Tea is very beneficial. It is good for your body. The herbals will keep your immune system up during really cold, hard times. I have coffee, but with my coffee, I'm going to show you how I'll be able to do it should the power go off. As long as the power's on, y'all, that coffee pot right there is going to work. As long as the power's on, this tea kettle, which is actually hot water, is going to work for all my tea. I like to nourish my body because I'm not, okay, let's be real, I'm not really good with water, y'all. So I'll drink it, but I like flavor. So tea is going to be my go-to. It'll keep me warm and keep me hydrated and keep me healthy. Okay, y'all, so here is our wood heat in our home and our setup for this. We have just this little cute potbelly stove, but I'll tell you, that thing could keep this thing so hot in this house, I'll even go outside just to cool off, and it's freezing outside. But that tea kettle right there, I can easily use to boil water, to make my tea, soup, anything in that thing. And also I have a camp stove, which I got to go get out of the barn. I have a camp stove, coffee pot, percolator that I can use on this thing so I can have my coffee. Because frankly, y'all, I don't go without coffee, period. I like my coffee, okay? All right, y'all, I'm going to try to focus this corner right here. I don't know what it's doing. This corner right here, this is all my wheat berries. This is every kind of wheat berry you can think of, and this is why I'm able to teach you what each one does. I have one batch that I reordered because it's getting low. So this is between wheat berries and whole corn. I don't particularly like showing this area, y'all, but if it's going to benefit you, I'll do what I can to help you. But this, y'all, is our lifeline that keeps us going. From every canned good that was canned in our jars, grown from our gardens, or bought from an organic garden that I knew for sure, to every store-bought can that we can put on our shelves, we are well taken care of. I am going to go through the details of the good sources to put on your shelves like we have, so that you will be sustained at least for an entire winter, up to 1 year, because that's all this does, y'all. We don't go no further than that. 2 years at the most, and that's pushing it. But this, I'm going to show you how I do this by myself even, because it may seem overwhelming when you're looking at this. Now, I've seen so many people do way more than I have, but you know what? This is sufficient for me. So I don't have a big family. But even if you have a big family, I'm going to teach you how to be able to do this, even if you have to buy it from the store, to prepare yourselves so you are secure. And while everybody else is buying everything off the shelf, you don't have to worry, am I going to get there in time? You'll already be prepared. Okay, y'all, so that is just part of this lighting. That is just part of what we've got. We do have other canned goods and pastas and all that, but I also have a pasta maker. I can do a lot of things homemade. I am going to spend this year teaching you on homemade to make the best bread, not dense, as much as I can. Like I did the biscuits, I will take the time out to do step-by-step tutorials for you. Spend time as if you were right here in my kitchen so that you succeed and not fail. You are important to me, and I don't want to just be anybody that says, here it is. And I'll be honest, I've done that and never thought about it, but I needed what you did. So I want to be able to do step-by-step and show you and why this works. So be prepared for that as well. Okay, y'all. This is my homestead. See, we do have a road right there. Some of this stuff is getting off of here. Trust me when I say that. But you see that road? It's a cityfied road. I don't want to invade my neighbors too much. But yeah, y'all, this is a rural area. And so these are part of the areas. This right here is my herb bed. I'm going to take you over here. Right over here, and this is just one of my herb beds right there. And we have our little rows, and then this at one time was our barbecue station. However, we're going to change this into a seating area. Back here used to be our honeybees. They all disappeared on us, so it's hit or miss. This is just one of our greenhouses we have, and that is a reserve barrel for rain. That makes an amazing water system that I just have a hose connected to. I fill up my watering can, and I water that garden area right over yonder. And this pillar right here that you see, yep, y'all, I'm the old-fashioned person that hangs her clothes on the clothesline because I do not own a dryer. It cuts down on my electricity, and you know what? I like that fresh scent. But when it rains, I hang them in the house. I'm not afraid to tell you, that's exactly what I do. This is a 10-foot system. Yes, it's got coverage over it right now. I'm going to leave it like it is because I will till this up when it's time for planting, and I could use it in compost, or just right now it's just a bed covering. These covered up systems right here is mustard greens on this side, and this side is turnip greens. I'm covering them because we are looking at ice. I understand that they can handle cold, but we're talking bitter cold, y'all, and ice. This is a lettuce bed system, and honestly, this is a little thing that I have here we've been trying to grow. Let me get to this. You're going to see a little blank for a minute, y'all. Okay, this looks like a big bed of grass. But honestly, y'all, I am been working with it very hard. This is actually an herb called saffron, and this is where your yellow rice comes from. I'm really hoping this flowers because I would love to share how these work with you. Alright, y'all, so now we have our line here of 4x8 raised beds. These actually 3 here are empty. I'm actually having to get to a point, and I haven't done it yet. I have some mushroom compost that needs to go in these beds, along with some earth castings and some of my compost. I have one bed back here that has got kale and bok choy in it. I never usually cover my garlic, but for once I'm covering my garlic. And that is another greenhouse we're going to be working with this year. I'm supposed to be putting some plants in there right now, and I didn't get a chance to yet. I've got some heat lights, and I may do that during the storm. It depends on how bad it gets, y'all. Because if not, there's still going to be cold temps. And our planting season is supposed to start in the middle of next month. So I may do some early just to work with you on that part. This here is another herb bed. I currently have parsley. Blows my mind that it's actually working. But it's in there, and we're trying to keep it alive. If I lose it, I'll just plant more. And then we have that one raised bed right here. We have 2 20-footers that pretty much shut down, but we're going to reinstate these because my husband is wanting to do some planting, and I'm giving him these. Now, let's go to the livestock. Right here is my husband's. These are his chickens, but they're different. They're game chickens. They're separated from basically mine. And I'm going to take you to the homestead chicken coops. Okay, so this one is what I call the retirement home, y'all. I could have used these for food sources. So let's be real, a lot of homesteads do with meat and eggs. And I very much could, but there was a problem with me getting attached to these. So my husband felt sorry for me, and some of them are still laying eggs, but for the most part, these girls are about 6 years old. If they lay, they lay. If they don't, they don't. We're going to let them live out their life to the best of their ability. It's just a handful of them. So right now they're currently happy because we just threw some straw out for them, and so they're content to do what they do. They are pretty much settled here, and well, they're living their best life. Now, yes, there's a lot of work that needs to be done around here, y'all, so please overlook my imperfected homestead. This is our barn, and attached to the barn, like I said, is our chicken coop. Now, this is their outside patio, per se. We took and put a wind barrier. I told you we do not have any power down here. So we built a wind barrier behind here because all these chickens, now let me tell you the luxuries these babies get. Lord, they get better treatment than I do sometimes. Hold on. Welcome to the chicken coop. Now they're probably all going to come at my feet. They're all basking over here, just enjoying all this straw that we have. But this is the outside patio part of it, and they've got even their own sunroof up here. So yeah, they get a sunroof, they get all that. But right now it is like seriously warm in here already just by this barrier. And then we have this hole in the wall, and you're thinking, what the heck? But see, now it may get dark in here. I don't know if you're going to be able to see, but there is another area to this coop that will protect them. There we go. Inside this building, we have our straw laying around here. They will be so satisfied inside here. It is so warm. These windows are covered up. So, wow, it's warm in here. So I don't really need, I had a light in here a long time ago. I didn't take it down. I need to take it down. We tried it, but there was a few things, and I'll tell you. One, these chickens like to fly and play around, and sometimes they fuss and fight, and they'll hit these lamps. I have seen, thank you, Mr. Rooster. I have seen where some of these have fallen in barns and caught on fire. Because I would have to run an extension cord from the house all the way to here, I'm not safe with this, and it's not safe for them. So we just do everything as naturally as we can. And when I tell you it is warm in here, it is really warm in this building. They are protected by a barrier. There's Mama right now. Yeah, it looks like we got some eggs over here. So we got our nest box and all. So y'all, they are very well taken care of. Trust me. Now 8 degrees is going to be cold. I highly get it. But they can nest, as you can see. They can, yes ma'am. Yes ma'am. They can nest inside of the straw here. Well, hello. I love these girls. All right, y'all. So, yep, these are the babies. This is our livestock. And then these literally are our babies. They're not even a year old yet. So, this is cool. I think they're about now 8 to 9 months old. And they're laying eggs already for us, which I would have preferred them to wait till spring. But these guys are overachievers, so we try to do what we can for them. Okay, y'all, so I had showed you about this greenhouse here that was from the backside next to this. Well, behind that, there's our city train. Sorry, y'all. So behind here, I'm going to try and do this with this. I may have to wait. But I got this cover. Hang on. Okay, y'all, so this is our wood pile that I've been getting all our wood from. So I keep it covered with a heavy duty this was from our trucking business when we were trucking, so it was an old tarp. We just use it to cover up our wood now. The Mississippi countryside. The train is a-blowing. Alright, so some of our outdoor resources and cooking. We have our stove here. We do have a camp stove if it gets too bad. And then we have the blacktop griddle. So we do have outside resources, from using charcoal or wood to using a propane bottle. Okay, y'all, so that is the homestead. Our freezers are full. We are well set to be able to handle at least a couple weeks, if not longer, personally, should the power go out. In some areas, if we have to, I can help others. I could bake bread, but if we have no power, that would probably be a problem, but I could at least share some eggs, whatever. Check on my neighbors, make sure that they're warm. If they're not, we have a source to keep them warm. So in various ways, the way we set this up, it would be an honor to share with you, to be prepared as much as you can to show you how to do that. And I would like to be that friend to sit down with you one-on-one and say, hey, let's dig in. Let me show you how to do this. If you're considering fresh milling, I will show you that it's not, it was scary for me when I first started. It was, oh my gosh, it was a whole nother species. I didn't think I was ever going to figure it out, but I did. And I am pretty honored to be able to share that with you as well. If you don't have fresh mill, don't worry. I will give you recipes that you can work with me. and it'll be a different type of situation, maybe a different recipe. However, you are going to be able to do for your family, because here's what I'm learning. Right now, I am super blessed to know when to go to the grocery store, and let's be real, a lot of us don't know if it's hit or miss. If we're going to get there in situations like this, did I make it in time? To be able to know how to make it yourself gives you that comfortable peace within you to say, wait a minute, all I have to do is go home, prepare, bake, and I've got it. I don't have to worry about going to the store. Prepare your home so you don't have to worry about depending on something that isn't dependable. And I learned this back in 2020, y'all. So it taught me to be able to do what I'm doing, to where I could literally sit here and say I'm at peace. That doesn't mean that I'm not slightly worried. That doesn't mean trouble's gonna not come my way. That doesn't mean that I may suffer losses. It doesn't mean that I won't hurt. It just means that I'm prepared for anything. I am a survivor. I want to teach you to do the same with peace, love, compassion, and somebody who cares enough to say, I'm here for you. And let me show you how to do that. If you will let me, we can have some fun doing this as well. It is a fantastic learning situation. Is it back in time? Absolutely. Okay, look, they've done it from biblical days to colonial days to our Native Americans. Everybody knew how to do this. They were healthy, they were thriving, they were survivalists, they knew how to do anything. When it came to our generation, we became dependent. Some of our foods were questionable, and now we deal with a lot of health issues and so much more. I am learning, since I went back to the ways of doing things myself, I feel better. And I had to, my doctor's medical bills started dropping. And I thought, this is really cool. So I want to be able to teach you too, because not only did that happen for me, not only do I feel better, but I'm secure. Being self-sufficient gives me the authority and the power to say, hey, I can do this. I don't have to depend on nobody else. At one time I did, y'all, and I found there was no one to depend on. That day I sat in my dining room floor in a house we had just bought, and I couldn't eat nothing. That was my cold reality. I really needed to learn how to do something. So it doesn't matter where you're at. I'm going to show you how to do what you need to do right where you're at. All right, y'all. Many of you are in this same line with me. I love you. You are in my prayers. Yes, y'all, I'm a believing woman. I'm not going to deny that. I do. And I do believe in prayer. So my prayers are with you. I pray that you are safe, that you are sound, that you will be staying warm, you will be sufficient, and you will survive. Together we will get through this. If I have power, I had some of you ask if I would keep in touch. Now here's what I will do. As long as I have power, I will go ahead and video what's going on. I will show you what it looks like here. If we lose power, it may be a bit of a struggle, but I'll show you, if we can, how we're surviving even without power. I will even show you how to cook a meal with my survival sources. That might be pretty cool, because some might not even know how to do that. So I may make a meal just to show you how we're doing this, if that's all right with you. Anyways, if this sounds like something you're interested in, please give me a shout out, and give me some ideas what you're looking for, because everything that, if I know it, I will show you and I will teach you. But I am also the first to tell you, if I don't know it, y'all, I'm going to tell you straight up, I don't know that. I'm not going to pretend to be somebody I'm not. I am who I am. I'm an ordinary gal. I grew up in Illinois, and I moved to the deep south, and I have survived in so many different ways that I learned how to be able to be content. And it's an honor to teach you the same thing. I love you. Lord, thank you all who have joined this channel. Thank you for being a part of my family, and I hope we grow even more together. I hope we thrive together, learn together, and I hope we become very close friends. Until next time, y'all, it's about to get really real. So hang in there. We got this. And I'll see you on the other side, if not in the middle of it. Until next time, much love from Parton's Mediterranean Homestead.